Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to talk about using properties of roots and exponents. You will need that graphing organizer, that foldable that we made the other day, a pen and a pencil, and a calculator, please. All right. This is the notes that you should have, the foldable that we created in class. It should look just like this. Today we're going to be working with simplifying exponents, okay? So that's what part we're going to be working with today. Before we get to talking about simplifying exponents, I need to go over our properties of exponents. Now this should already be in your notes, so you don't have to write this anywhere. I'm just going to go over again what this means. So if we have this, x cubed times x to the fifth, we know that means that we get to add our exponents. So it's x 3 plus 5, which means it'd be x to the 7th power. Now if we have it this way, this we know means x 3 times 5, which means x to the 15th power is how we'd simplify that one. When we have two things multiplied together, 5, that exponent goes to both. So we're going to get a to the 5th times b to the 5th power. Now when we're subtracting our exponents, dividing, we get to subtract. So I have a, it's going to be 4 minus 2, because they have the same bases, so we can do this. So it's going to equal a to the 2nd power. And if we look at this one here, same thing. This power has to go to both. So I'm going to have a cubed over b cubed. And finally, if I have a negative exponent, I need to move it. Okay, it has to be moved to a different level. So since it's on the top, it's going to be moved to the bottom. So I'm going to get 1 over a cubed. Now that's just a little refresher of all of our exponent properties. We're going to be using these today, okay, when we're talking about simplifying our powers or our exponents. So we should have it like open our foldable. It should be up like this. You should be able to read this part right here, simplifying powers and exponents. So it should be the first flap that's opened up. Okay, and I want you to put a little title, how we use rules of exponents. Now we're going to have 6 different rules of exponents, so if you want to split up this page into 6 different sections, you may, but we're going to have 6 different rules for our exponents. Alright, here we go. This is going to be rule 1 and rule number 2. This first one right here, if I'm multiplying two bases that are the same, I'm going to add my exponents. So I'm going to take 3 halves plus 5 fourths. Now I'm not going to expect you guys to do this by hand. You're going to grab your calculator and you're going to type it in. But I do not want any mixed numbers. They have to be left as improper fractions, okay? So when I plug this into my calculator, you might get a mixed number. If you don't know how to change that into an improper fraction, we can talk about it in class. But you want to have it as an improper fraction, and that was going to be 11 over 4. So we have to add our exponents. Then, since they have the same base, we're going to rewrite it as 2 to 11 fourths. Now, all of these we could solve for an answer. We're going to leave them like this for our examples, okay? Now for our second one here, what we're going to do is multiply our exponents. So I'm going to take 2 6 times 3 fourths. Multiply those together, I'm going to get 6 over 24. Now I want this to be simplified. We want to simplify all of our fractions. So this is going to simplify to 1/4. So my answer is going to be 4 to the 1/4 power. All right, there's our first 2 simplifying powers of exponents. Here comes number 3 and number 4. 3 looks like this. We're going to give power to all. So what that means is that we have to take our 3 and we need to multiply it here and here. So I am going to get 5. If I take 3 times 1/3, I'm going to get 3 over 3 times 7, and I'm going to get that to the 3/4. force. Now I can simplify this one here, so I'm going to rewrite it as 5 to the first power, or just 5, times 7 to the 3 force power. Okay, so we have to give the power to all. Now, on our fourth one over here, we're going to subtract our powers because we have division going on here. So we're going to subtract because they have the same bases. So I'm going to take 9/7 minus 1/2. When I do that, I get 11/14. To rewrite my answer, I'm going to get 8 to the 11/14 power. Okay, so all we're doing is subtracting our exponents on that one. All right, moving on to our last two. Here we go. For our fifth example, we're going to give the power to the entire fraction. So the 1/3 has to go to each. It has to go to the x, and it has to go to the 27. So I'm going to get x to the 1/3 and 27 to the 1/3. Okay? And in class and later today, we might be simplifying because we can break down 27 to the 1/3. Okay? Now our last one, our sixth example, we're going to move the base with the negative power. So the one with the negative power right here is 4 to the -3/2. Since we're moving it, it's on the bottom, we need to move it to the top. Okay? So I'm going to now have 4 and 7/2 times 4 and a +3/2 now that we've moved it. So now we know when we're multiplying them together, we need to add our exponents. So I'm going to take 7/2 plus 3/2, and that's going to get us 10/2, and we're going to simplify that, and it's going to be 5. So our answer for this one is going to be 4 to the 5th power. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I have for you today. Enjoy your wonderful day, and I will be seeing you soon. Bye.